A long time ago, I raised a son to know his Sorkin from his Soderbergh.
Now we're turning our arguments into content. This is I Am Your Father, where Gen X meets Gen Z in hyperspace. All right.
How you doing, Braden?
I'm doing good. I could be doing a little better. The Dodgers are down currently in Game 5, so that sucks.
It's not good. It's not good, and I've been certainly worried about this the whole time. I mean, it was amazing. The 18-inning game was insane, but then yesterday I got smacked. And at the end of the day, you know, if they can get to the bullpen with a lead, it's going to be really hard for us to win. So we'll see. I don't want to have to go back to Toronto down 3-2. That changes everything, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, they're capable. They can pull it out, but I'd rather them just get a little more comfortable tonight.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, well, we have an interesting topic for today's episode. We are going to be doing another draft. We're going to be drafting post-credit scene movies. You know?
I think you said it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it can happen like mid-credit scene,
mid
and
post-credit scenes. Yes.
Right.
Scenes after the credits have started.
After the credits have started, exactly. And it's kind of a niche topic. Don't get me wrong, but you know, some of you avid listeners are very niche. Some of you are less so, but that's okay. Some of you just listen because you love our personalities.
Absolutely.
And,
we have
what we bring to the table. We do. So we're gonna do a typical draft. But we're going to try and do a speed draft, actually. So not typical. We're going to do a speed draft. We're going to try and do 10 each. Hopefully we don't run out. You know, I only have 15 or 16 on my list. So
I hope I take all of them.
I hope you don't. I hope I can make it. I may have to really dig deep and go into the annals of the memory.
Oh yeah.
But we'll try it. Anyway, before we do that, we're going to go back to our 10 in 20.
Well, first,
why don't you introduce this to us? Oh,
first, what are you?
Well, you gotta have this conversation before I introduce something. You can't go backwards on me.
You didn't even take a breath, man. You didn't even take a breath.
No.
You were talking, and we're gonna do our 10 and 20.
Yeah, we should talk about the costumes.
You're never beating the Jack Black allegations. You just aren't.
Yeah, I know. I leaned into it this time. I was hoping more for Ben Stiller from Tropic Thunder, but no, I'm sure that our listeners are gonna say Jack Black. I don't see the resemblance. We're two somewhat round-faced guys with beards, but anyway,
that's the extent of it. Actually, I think.
I don't love it, but honestly, I've been fighting Jack Black references for a very long time, actually.
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah. I mean, younger pictures of you, it's not too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I am Jack Black.
Maybe.
Send me some of those checks. You know, those Minecraft checks. I could use them.
You just got to start walking around in your Bowser costume all the time.
That's right. But listen, this whole costume thing was your idea, and you're really not in a costume right now.
Dude, I'm Sleeping Beauty. Listen,
I think you're not.
If I'm being completely honest,
I think you faked
I
this.
planned 4 outfits, and I forgot that there was going to be a 5th Friday in October, so I kind of screwed myself a little bit. I literally remembered just a couple hours ago. But I think so far my outfits have beat your outfits.
You think so, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I brought it out last week. In full pirate regalia.
Last week was definitely your best, but I had a good pirate costume. Indiana Jones. I was Pharaoh. I mean, come on, dude.
The Pharaoh probably wins the whole thing.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You're
feeling like you didn't like my
King Slut.
King Slut. Because you were bringing up the guns that day, not like me now, right?
Flex on them.
That's right. So I don't know. You're saying you didn't really appreciate the parade, the Noah's Ark of animals that I brought out over the course of...
I didn't realize that you were telling the biblical story through your costume. I should have caught on to that. That's a sick reference, bro.
You know,
your references are out of control.
We are doing the Lord's work here. We're bringing the gospel to the people.
Trying to.
And, so between your Pharaoh and my animals, we're in good shape.
I think now would be a good time to dive into our 10 and 20. What is our 10 and 20?
Okay. Our 10 and 20, this regular segment, brought to you by no one, where we go through 20 topics in 10 minutes. No, it's the other way around. We go through 10 topics in 20 minutes or so. Pretty dead on lately. We've been coming in at 20 on the dot, like we always do.
Every time.
So,
every time.
This is just another week.
We don't miss.
Of pure timing excellence. Speaking of which, let me set our timer here so that we don't lose track and we know exactly how badly we missed. Why don't you kick us off with our first topic?
Yeah, topic number 1 is going to be a review for House of Dynamite, or A House of Dynamite.
A House of Dynamite.
This is a new film. It's on Netflix currently. It had a very minor theatrical run. I didn't even really hear about it until a couple days ago. It's Catherine Bigelow's new film, director of Zero Dark 30 and The Hurt Locker. So definitely some solid movies in her resume. And
yeah, I mean, this is a topic, I like a world that she kind of knows. This like political, international affairs, intrigue.
I went into this very blind.
Yeah,
I watched it because you told me to.
You, yesterday, right? I was like, you need to watch this before the show. It's worth talking about.
Yeah, so I watched it last night, and I was actually rather blown away by how much I enjoyed it. I was super invested right away. And what you need to know about this movie without there being spoilers yet is that it works in 3 acts, as most movies do, but each act rehashes what's already happened from a different point of view.
Yeah.
And it took me a second to realize exactly what was going on. By the time I realized what was going on, I wasn't super sure that I was on board.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, if that structure worked for you or not.
But I will say pretty quickly, it sold me, and I really appreciated it. I really appreciated the way that new details were unfolding as we were seeing other point of views on everything.
Yeah. Especially when we got to the third act.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we shouldn't spoil.
No, I don't think so.
It might be hard to not spoil everything, but I think we shouldn't spoil some of the little details.
Definitely.
But yeah, by the time the third act happened and some of the things, that when you started to hear the line for the third time, and you really were sort of understanding kind of like what really happened, and one particular detail was like, oh, what?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I found myself curious if she and the writer, whose name is slipping my mind, Noah something, but if they'd originally conceived this as like a 3-part limited series and then decided to put together. And I was asking myself the question about whether or not I would have liked it better in that format, but I actually think that this works really well. Kind of in a sort of Nolan-esque way where we're playing with time and we're going back. So I liked it. Almost like Rashomon kind of structure. Although we weren't hearing different truths, we were just seeing different perspectives on the same events. I liked that a lot. I thought it worked.
I'll say this. No,
dang, no. Bigelow can create tension, can't she?
Oh my gosh. I was sucked in. Like I actually couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I could not believe it.
I totally agree.
And what's even more baffling is I get that there is a divisive ending. It's going to work for you or it's not, or you're going to be, whatever. But
let's save the ending till the end.
Well, I don't even want to say the ending, just in case.
No. I mean, just save like the divisiveness of it. I guess you don't want to spoil it at all.
No, I don't think so because it's brand new. And,
it's brand new.
But I'll say this:
and people listen to us the second our episode drops, and they expect timely commentary.
You gonna let me talk?
You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, go ahead.
No, divisive ending, yes, but I could not believe how bad the reviews were for this movie. I was looking at it on Letterboxd, and I'm seeing 1.5, 2 stars, maybe 2.5. So like I didn't see many reviews over 2.5 out of 5.
It's all about the ending, though.
And it's all about the ending.
Yeah.
In my opinion, this is the most underrated movie of the year so far. I think it's completely misunderstood.
When I looked at it this morning, I thought I saw that it was at a 3. It was up to a 3 total on Letterboxd.
It was at a 3.2 last night. So
okay.
It's dropped.
So it's dropped. Okay. Then I didn't check it last night. I only checked it this morning. So it was at a 3 this morning, I'm pretty sure.
That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, most of the commentary online that I'm seeing is completely about the ending. And the only other piece of commentary that I've heard is that the Pentagon has actually made a statement about this film, claiming that the probability or the degree of success, a number, which I believe was like 61%, that's thrown out in the film, is that the Pentagon has made a statement, official statement, saying we are 100% accurate. We're never wrong, which feels like hubris to me.
Well, not that they were wrong, but that their technology.
No, they never miss.
Gotcha.
They're 100% accurate.
So you're saying that this film was important enough that they felt the need to actually speak publicly on it?
I can't remember the last time the Pentagon made an official statement about a film. I'm sure it's happened, and I'm sure there are times when I missed it even.
Yeah.
But the fact that within a day of this thing being live, the Pentagon is making an official statement claiming that they are better than this film suggests is interesting to me.
That is interesting.
I don't know who's right or wrong. I know that the author of the film has come out and said that the Pentagon is wrong, and that that he spoke with many experts, people who worked in these offices, people who have direct knowledge of these technologies, and that his number is accurate. But it's interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
What about
Take
the
us into
cast?
number 2. Go ahead.
Can we just talk real quickly about the cast? Because we covered everything else, but this is stacked. It's stacked with a who's who, a murderer's row of incredible character actors. So much so that I feel like the biggest star in this film is Idris Elba, and he's kind of overshadowed by 20 other people. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he was fine, but there are so many great character actors popping up in this thing and just doing some incredible work. It's I think it's beautifully acted. It's beautifully directed. It's beautifully written. I think this is a good film.
It's definitely good. Don't listen to all the hate. Have your own opinion. Go watch it. It's worth it. Absolutely. You have to see this.
Yeah. Okay. Topic number 2. Sorkin's renamed The Social Reckoning film started filming in Canada. Opening sequence is around the January 6th insurrection. Shot, like I said, up in Canada. A couple points here. One, this is really happening. I've kind of felt for like a while like it was to go back to a January 6th insurrection note, a fake news kind of thing. Like maybe it wasn't really going to happen, but I'm really glad to see at least that they changed the name and we're not getting The Social Network 2.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was pretty important, especially if they're trying to distinguish between the two. I mean, I think their first mistake was ever calling it a sequel. I think I think they did not put their best foot forward with that, especially now that everybody attached to it is saying, no, I'm not taking any inspiration from what was before. It's not going to be like the first one. Like, this is a weird direction to go after announcing it as a sequel to The Social Network.
Well, I guess what we don't know is if the filmmakers ever intended it to be that, or if they just wanted to continue telling the story.
Right.
Because there's very few things that have impacted our world and particularly our society, but the world in whole as social media, the social network, and Facebook. We can laugh about it all we want now in terms of just being like the social network for the elderly, but it's the inspiration for everything that has mattered to our world for the last several decades, and it's had major impact on serious issues across the world and across our culture.
And it's more than just Facebook now. I mean, they own
Instagram
and so forth.
WhatsApp.
So it's not even just a Facebook thing anymore. It's obviously Meta, the company, and all that. Yeah. There's a lot more to it for sure. Here, I think that there is a sequel makes so much sense. There's so much to be told. They could make 2 or 3 more of these movies truthfully,
but not a sequel. Another film about this topic,
a different period
sense.
of
and
this topic.
Even from the same writer makes sense. But it should have never been referred to as a sequel. I'm really glad that they're not continuing to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Great.
Okay.
You got topic number 3.
Except for the fact that we actually covered this on the last episode, even though we didn't do a 10 and 20. So you take topic number 4.
We're going to skip that one, huh?
Yeah, you take
4.
What?
I looked at our old script and it wasn't there. I swear. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think
so
it was.
We're going to skip that because we never covered it, or we already covered it. So I'll go to topic number 4. Okay. Last week we talked about Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh's failed treatment for the SAVE Sorry, The Hunt for Ben Solo. I'm going to start over on that. That was terrible.
I think you should.
Last week. last week.
And go.
Last week we covered the failed attempt of. I'm not going to do it again. This is not my day.
Do you want me to?
Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh were putting together The Hunt for Ben Solo film, a follow-up to the Kylo Ren story. Adam Driver released this information in an interview. But since that conversation has come out, fans have gone crazy. There are several major fan campaigns going on right now to try and convince Disney to go ahead and do this. We've seen planes flying over Disney with banners that say "Save the Hunt for Ben Solo." We've seen billboards taken out across Burbank that says, "Don't worry, Kylo, no one really ever dies," things like that. Fans want this. Do you think Disney will listen?
No. I don't.
This isn't
Release the Snyder Cut?
A Snyder cut conversation?
No, I don't think so. And I think there are other examples of that happening and not working. Like, I think the Snyder Cut is maybe the only time I can think of on like a large scale like this where a major studio agreed to do it. Yeah. And exactly. It was that was a once in a lifetime kind of thing in my opinion. But I mean, I don't think you even said this. There are also missing posters. People are hanging missing signs all over different cities.
It's crazy.
Ben Solo missing. I think it's hilarious. I don't think it's going to amount to much, but I love seeing passionate fans be passionate about these franchises in a way that's not negative, you know?
There were a few other instances where it worked. There was the Veronica Mars reboot happened because of fans. Okay. A few others, but you're right. Usually it doesn't, and I honestly do not expect Disney to take action here at all. Unfortunately,
especially but I more so mean like when it comes to such a big franchise, big studios. You know, like they rarely care about what the fans actually want, and they're just going to go for what they believe will be the most profitable. Even though if they just make movies for fans, they're going to be profitable.
There is a flip side to that coin, though, and there's like what Marvel has somewhat become over the years in terms of like turning into just making decisions based on fan service alone in what feels like in so many ways, which also doesn't necessarily translate to box office success or good quality entertainment either. So, you know, we as fans don't always know what's good, even if we think it's what we want.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. All right.
Topic number 5. Apparently, David Fincher pitched a Star Wars movie, and Lucasfilm ultimately told him that he couldn't have final cut, so he walked away. And in my opinion, this is a major fumble. I think David Fincher is one of the best working directors today. Can I imagine what his Star Wars film would be like? No. But would I have liked to have seen that? Absolutely. And of course, he's a director who needs final cut. His movies...
He only does final cut. There's 4 or 5 of them. And he's one of those 4 or 5, and he doesn't miss.
Yeah, exactly. So why is that why is that the hill Lucasfilm is willing to die on? Like, there's really no trust with David Fincher there. You're so worried about
there's no trust with anyone.
It.
There's no trust with anyone. They're bringing in auteurs. They did this throughout the prequel, or the sequel trilogy. They did this throughout the sequel trilogy. They brought in good, solid filmmakers, and then they tore those projects apart. They tore those visions apart, and they ended up with something that was subpar that none of us really like all that much.
Yeah.
And so they're continuing to do that. I mean, you know, it happened with Solo. It happened with The Last Jedi. It happened with. I mean, it's been happening for a while, and it's disappointing to see that because I agree. I think what this franchise needs is more of what they only seemed to have been able to accomplish with Andor.
And I would also say the earlier version of The Mandalorian as well.
Yeah, I mean, because Filoni was involved, and Filoni seems to be the guy who gets final cut. Or I mean, maybe not technically, it may not be actually that, but he's the one person that they trust to really do it. Filoni brings in Favreau, and together they get their vision out there, and regardless of maybe what Disney thought was right or not, who knows? But if it wasn't for Filoni, I doubt that happens.
Yeah, you're right. We're going to take a step away from Star Wars for a moment, but we'll be right back. You go ahead and hit us with topic number 6.
All Star Wars, all the time. Topic number 6, Warner Brothers Studios is for sale officially, and not just Warner Brothers, but any combination of parts, HBO, etc. Everything is for sale. There's been a lot of rumors linking potentially Netflix to the purchase. Netflix is denying that in their earnings call. They are not interested in being in the theater business, they say. Looks like Paramount, who has also a new owner in Skydance, and Mr. Ellison, is the top suitor, but the WGA feels like this is a wrong move. More consolidation, they feel like, means worse product, less jobs, fewer movies. What are your thoughts here on another potential merger amongst iconic studios like Warner Brothers and Paramount?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like eventually we're going to end up with red versus blue in terms of streaming services and, everything to ever exist. I mean, It just feels like everybody is consolidating, and eventually we're just going to have cable again. Like, in that sense, like, you're just going to have to pay a fat amount of money to have your 1 or 2 streaming services that has everything in the world on it. And I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. I don't know that I'm for it. Part of me, and it's funny, some people will think this is hilarious, but my biggest thing with this is, how's this going to affect the future of James Gunn's DC universe?
That's a really important question. So
we're just getting started here, and I'm afraid that this
yes.
thing's going to get scrapped before it ever gets off the ground.
Well, someone at Paramount has made a statement on that topic because it was brought up in some kind of an interview, and they did say that if Paramount does successfully acquire Warner Brothers, James Gunn's role in the DC films is secure, and they will continue with that plan. So that good. At least we know. Yeah. Listen, your red and blue comment was right on. I think that, that if American politics has taught us nothing, if you only have 2 choices, you don't have any good choices.
Right.
In my humble opinion, choice is good. Competition is good. It's what America was founded on. Or not what it was founded on. What made America great, I guess, is more what I believe. Competition and choice. I think that's really important. So the more we limit that, the more we consolidate, the worse that gets for us. It worse it gets for the product. And it's not like if Paramount does not buy them and someone else does, that it's not going to be somebody who's already in the game. It's going to be Netflix. It's going to be Apple. It's going to be Amazon. It's going to be Paramount. Right. It's going to be somebody that's already there. It's not like, Ford Motor Company is going to come in and buy Warner Brothers.
It's going to be like how you don't need to have the Hulu app anymore if you have Disney Plus. It's just going to be like that again. It's just going to be a bigger app with more content on it. And I completely agree with you. I think it does not need to happen. And whatever. But back to Star Wars, something more fun.
Oh, we haven't talked about that in a while.
I've been missing Star Wars, so I'm going to talk about it for a minute. And another situation or another topic linking a director to Star Wars again, we have Rian Johnson stating that he would love to return to the Star Wars universe, the galaxy far, far away. I personally think this is a good idea. I am a Last Jedi defender for the most part. There are parts of it that I think are pretty bad, but I really appreciate the swing, and I think in a lot of ways he got a pretty good base hit, and I think the fact that he hasn't been dissuaded by all these just horrible, horrible fans, like just calling him, the worst human alive for what he did to Star Wars. The fact that he wants to return, the fact that he still loves the universe, I think I appreciate that. So I'm here for more Rian Johnson Star Wars, personally. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that going back to what we talked about earlier, if you're going to hire a director of his caliber, who can build a world, and then you have to put your trust in that director. You can't second guess them, which is what we ended up with in The Rise of Skywalker, and it was a complete second guessing of the previous film, right? So that's a whole mess. Yeah, right. But I mean, if you hand it over to him, you have to let. If you want me to do the cooking, you got to let me shop for the groceries, so to speak, as the great Bill Parcells once said. Whether it's Fincher, whether it's Johnson, whoever it might be, if they bring in top quality talent, they have to let that top quality talent actually perform.
Right. But there are examples of of that kind of happening, I think you kind of said it. Like, if you're going to tell them, like, this is why we're bringing you on, then you have to stand on that and let them actually do it. Like, I think a good example is, I believe her name is Chloe Zhao with the Eternals.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, she stepped in, and it was like, everybody's like, wow, like, this could be really cool. She has since stated, like, all these parameters, all these blocks she had, like, all these different hoops she had to jump through to build in the Marvel machine. And I think that's why it failed. I mean, you have to stand on what you're saying.
Yeah. By all accounts, a second unit that she wasn't even given oversight for that was shooting scenes independent of her.
Yeah.
So, you're going to get a garbled mess if that's how you organize things. And I think that's a lot of why Marvel's been kind of a mess too. Marvel and Star Wars both have been a bit of a mess lately. That's not a hot take.
No, it's not. And I think a good experiment for this will be DC. James Gunn saying that all these projects are going to have very different feels from one another, that there's not going to be a through line in terms of tone. I think it'll be a good experiment, and if it works, which I think it will, I'm hoping to see that more often from other studios and other franchises.
Well, that worked for a while with Marvel too, and then they abandoned it, and that's the problem. I think.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, when you get to Thor Ragnarok as an example, that is a Taika Waititi film. You know it from start to finish. It's a totally different tone. When you get to Guardians of the Galaxy before Ragnarok, it's a James Gunn film. It has a totally different feel, and they let those auteurs have the reins. It's other scenarios that have happened since where they lost the thread.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Let's jump down to 9 and 10 for the sake of time, I think. Let's do an 8 and 20. What do you say? An 8 and 25.
Sounds good. Okay, so Johnny Depp is officially returning to the big screen as Scrooge in a Ty West adaptation of the Dickens classic, A Christmas Carol. Ty West, Charles Dickens. I mean, this is the adaptation we've always been dreaming of.
Absolutely.
I think it actually might work.
I think so too. And I'm just on board for Johnny Depp to be back,
Me too.
I mean, I think he's been in like a few tiny little things here and there, but a proper return is due, I believe. And
Versace commercials? I haven't seen him in any. What has he actually been in?
I guess I don't know. I thought I've been seeing stuff of like little movies or like whatever. I could be wrong. This could be his true and proper return. And in that case, even more power. I'm excited for it. I miss Johnny Depp on screen.
Me too.
We love seeing him. And this is exactly right up his alley. He loves doing these weird things. So I think he'll put his twist on it, and I think it has the potential to be pretty cool.
It's great casting for Scrooge.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm also really curious to see a really dark, truly dark adaptation of A Christmas Carol, because the book is much darker than most people realize.
I mean, even the Jim Carrey cartoon is rather scary.
Yeah.
And rather dark, but I'm sure not even all the way.
Well, I'm kind of excited for it. And I'm not even a big Ty West fan just because I don't love horror, but I know that fans of the genre love him so much.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this. This is good news to me.
Yeah. All right, last one. Bring us home.
Topic number 10. It is being rumored, reported, whatever you might say, all over the place, that Avengers Doomsday will be releasing a trailer alongside Avatar Fire and Ash. But the caveat is I have also heard this about Spider-Man Brand New Day. So who knows whether...
We might get both.
Yeah, maybe we'll get both. Maybe we'll get one, or maybe we'll get none. I have no idea. I think this is all impossible to say, really. I'm kind of hoping no for both, personally. They're both quite a ways out still.
Oh, you don't want either.
Which is, I know. Who am I, right? Of course I want Marvel content, but we're seeing a lot from Spider-Man Brand New Day. I don't feel like I need to see a trailer for that anytime soon, personally. I feel very fed by what we've seen so far. We've seen much less from Avengers Doomsday. That is something I'm excited for, but by the time Avatar Fire and Ash is in theaters, it's going to be still a year away. And I don't think that. I mean, it's fun to get the ball rolling. It's fun to get people talking, but there's no way to keep momentum going. You drop a trailer, people are going to talk about it for a week or 2 or 3, and unless you're continuing to drop stuff, it's going to be forgotten about just a couple months later.
Going back to our conversation a couple weeks back about Drew Struzan and the way things were in the 70s and 80s and even into the 90s with what teasers were back then, like a true teaser. You can get away with an amazing true teaser that people actually go crazy for if the teaser itself is a surprise.
Right.
If you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know this was happening. But in today's world, that's just not possible. I mean, you mentioned Brand New Day. I mean, the studio has effectively brought the press in to film BTS. That's the teaser that we're getting from that film. So I totally get what you're saying. Whereas Marvel's doing the opposite. They're giving us very, very little, if anything at all, other than just like photos and things like that, right? I mean, we're not getting anything else like that. Am I forgetting something? It's really Doomsday. Sorry.
No, yeah, just anything that's really been out for Doomsday has mostly been leaked, other than the initial chairs, and then like a few. The Russo brothers have posted some rather cryptic photos that people are trying to break down, which to me that's great. They're literally posting a picture of the set, and all you're seeing is like studio equipment, and people are fighting to break this down and find the hidden meaning. Like that's what works for this stuff. But we don't give us too much. And I don't need another chair session knowing all the other characters are going to be in this movie. Like, I want to be surprised. I want to really enjoy this film like I'm seeing it for the first time. Yeah.
Well, so December 19th, we're about a month and a half out, roughly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
For Fire and Ash, Avatar Fire and Ash.
Yes.
We're about a month and a half out. But I'm curious what this news and the news potentially of Brand New Day trailer as well, what it does to opening sales. Not that Big Jim needs anybody's help. He tends to put some butts in seats.
Yeah. He's nothing if not consistent in that sense.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see.
We'll see.
All right.
I'm not going to be pissed, but I will be it'll be bittersweet.
If you get something.
Yeah.
You probably will.
Probably will. It makes sense. I mean, why wouldn't they want to attach something to what is most likely going to be the highest grossing movie in the last 5 years?
Yeah, I hear you. All right. That was not 10 topics in not 20 minutes, but pretty good anyway. Hopefully you enjoyed those conversations.
I think we're getting quicker.
Are we?
Are we? I don't know. Maybe not.
Who knows? And we haven't checked the Dodger score, so who knows what's happening there. I think I don't know that I even should check it. I feel like
I checked
might ruin my evening. Where are we at?
3-1.
3-1. So the Dodgers are on the board, but they gave up another run.
Correct.
What inning are we in?
We're in the bottom of the 4th.
Oh, it's only the 4th inning?
Yeah, they're moving slow.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Anyway, yeah. Go LA. Should we get into our main topic?
I think we should. I'm pretty excited about this.
Okay. And you still feel like we should go with 10 each?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have to bounce back and forth. My remote keyboard died. It's plugged in right now, unfortunately, so I'm having to reach up here. I don't know if that looks weird or not.
Living in the caveman days over there.
Yeah, I know.
Poor guy.
I know. Serious.
I'll pray for you.
Serious problems over here. Okay, so should we snake it or should we just go 1 2 1 2 1 2? What do you want to do?
I say we snake it. I think that's fun and fair. So we are going to be we are going to be drafting mid and post credit scenes from movies or shows, I suppose. And this is not specifically Marvel, even though Marvel is what has obviously made this the most popular, and most of the post credit scenes that are out there belong to Marvel.
In recent years.
But we are going to be doing it across the board. We're going to each be taking 10, and then we will compare, and you will cry.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, if you stick with Marvel only, I think, you're going to lose because I'm going to be much more creative. I'm going to dig into my old man bag. I'm going to find some stuff. Maybe I'm not going to say old man bag anymore. I'm gonna go into the Wayback Machine, and I'm gonna find some classics.
And that's gonna be why you lose, because nobody cares. No one cares.
You know what, child? We're gonna figure it out. Okay.
Do you want to start?
You want me to go first, and you go 2, 3?
I think I started the last draft, if I'm remembering correctly.
You may have. Okay, I'm looking at my list here. Yeah. Okay, I know what I'm going to do.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to go with a post-credit scene so iconic it's been ripped off multiple times.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the post-credit scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ooh.
As my first pick. Are you still here? Says Ferris. Why are you
still
home?
Here?
Get out of the theater. Go home. Get out of the theater. Ripped off by Deadpool. Ripped off by other films. Like this really is the epitome of a meta post-credit scene, and I think in large part inspired some of the more meta examples that are going to show up on this list. So I think I'm basically it's not the first. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the first ever post-credit scene, but I do consider it a bit of the Godfather post-credit scene.
Yeah,
so I'm taking Ferris Bueller's Day Off in the first slot. What do you think?
I respect it. I knew for a fact that this was going to be on your list. I had it in my list as well, but I knew I wasn't going to get it because I have others ahead of it. And I knew I would have put any amount of money on this being one of your first picks. We've never even talked about this movie, so it's not like I know you have some deep love for this movie. I just knew.
In life or on the podcast?
Both.
We never even talked about it in life?
No. Well, I have a confession to make. I haven't even seen the movie.
Oh, my gosh.
That's how I know we've never talked about it. So, but I'm not surprised at all.
Your sister's seen it, interestingly enough. I'm not going to suggest that I am the world's biggest Ferris Bueller fan, but I have great respect for the film. It is iconic in a certain way to my life, having grown up in the 80s. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's really valuable. And I think it has its rightful spot at the top of our list.
All right, fair enough. I'll take 2 then.
Okay.
And I get 2 and 3, actually, so I don't have to stress too much.
You do.
I am going to take one of my favorite Marvel post-credit scenes.
Okay.
And that's going to be...
Right out the gate. Not surprising.
Well, it's not surprising, and a lot of them are going to be Marvel, just so you know. So
I had no doubt.
It's not surprising. Doesn't make my list any weaker. It probably makes it better with the people in the audience. So that being said, I'm taking the post-credit scene from Iron Man 2, which is the post-credit scene where Phil Coulson pulls up in his Escalade. He steps out. He's in New Mexico in the desert, and there's this huge crater. He gets on the phone. He says, "Sir, we found it." The camera pans down into the crater, and it's Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
I think that this is a perfect example of what Marvel's post-credit scenes should be. And there are several reasons why we've kind of lost the plot there, and that's because this happened at a time where we didn't necessarily know what their plan was, what was next. We didn't know for sure that there was a Thor movie coming.
They had announced 2 phases.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was the perfect storm of like, oh my gosh, Thor. Like Thor's next. It's a really great moment. This can't happen now. And I'll give an example later on my list of where they tried to replicate this, but it didn't work because we knew what was coming. But for me, I think this is the perfect example of how you should feel watching a post-credit scene.
Yeah, that's a good call. I didn't have this one on my list. It slipped my mind. I certainly remember it, and I think you're right. But I have a lot of Marvel on my draft sheet here, and this wasn't there. So you drafted it maybe too early because you were not in a. There was no threat of you losing this film. But I get it. So Iron Man 2 post credit, the introduction of Thor.
That's okay, and the reason it's okay is I really don't know. This isn't a list where I can super easily predict what you're going to take. Like I knew Ferris Bueller, but when it comes to Marvel post-credit scenes, I have no idea what you have up there. So I'm kind of shooting in the dark here. Just to be safe, for 3,
you're gonna take another Marvel film.
I am, and it's a Marvel film that I would be surprised if it's not on your list because it's a post-credit scene that we've talked about before.
Okay,
and that's going to be the post-credit scene for Thor: The Dark World. And this is another pretty cool post-credit scene. It's the only post-credit scene that I can think of seeing it, walking out of the theater, and you and me sitting in the car looking up, what the heck does this mean? It was pretty fun. Obviously, it is Lady Sif and Volstagg taking the Reality Stone, which we only know as the Ether at that point, to the Collector.
Yeah.
He takes it. He says, 1 down, 5 to go.
Yeah. So this is our introduction to the Infinity Saga, essentially.
Exactly. It's the first time that we know that this is where we're going now. And it's a really fun moment because it's a great way to tease what everything's building up to, and also educate a lot of the fans on what's going on, like what kind of stuff they need to know moving forward. And so I think it's the perfect way to build intrigue without just flat out saying what's happening and showing what's happening. I think it was rather subtle in that sense. And I love the fact that we got to walk to the car and immediately start doing research and getting excited. Oh, this is cool. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good choice. I had it on my list as well. You are right. It was pretty low though on my list, but I did have it, and it's a good one. It's important. I also remember in the moment not loving Del Toro. Yeah, and I love Del Toro, but it felt like Del Toro doing Depp, kind of like it was. Yeah, you know, like can you not picture Johnny Depp in this part?
No, that's a great point.
Yeah,
it's a great point.
But I think it's good. I think and the importance is definitely there. Like this is our first tangible, our first tangible introduction to the Infinity Stones, and it sets the tone for the rest of what we get out of the saga.
Exactly.
Okay, very good. I'm gonna go OG again for number 4, but I'm gonna go OG Marvel. I'm going to go with Iron Man.
Damn it.
The first one. This is where we get a post-credit scene that introduces us to both Nick Fury and the Avengers Initiative. I think, we were all so excited about Iron Man as a topic, as a film, the fact that it was happening. Didn't know if it was a one-off because we'd had other superhero films before. It's not like no one had ever done superhero film, but this one ends and we get our first post-credit scene from the Marvel Universe. And not only that, it tells us, and there's a whole other world that we are just being introduced to. And it was the perfect way to end just how damn good Iron Man was.
Yeah.
And we got to rewind enough and back and be able to say, like, I don't think anybody really expected Iron Man to be as good as it was.
If it wasn't as good as it was, then we wouldn't have what we have now.
For sure. But Robert Downey Jr. cast in that role. Jon Favreau doing that type of movie. Marvel as a studio. And there have been so many examples of really crappy movies based on Marvel film, or Marvel properties, rather. This was definitely a roll of the dice, and it paid off. And to have that post-credit scene, chef's kiss, it set up everything else. So
not to mention... It's Sam Jackson's first appearance as Nick Fury.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We get Nick Fury, we get the Avengers introduced to us in film, and I think it opens up our minds and our hearts to a whole new world, which would define cinema for a decade.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. I wanted it myself, but for me, the reason I didn't grab it yet is because it was so early on still, where we didn't really know for sure that there was going to be payoff to it. The reason I took Iron Man 2 over it is at that point they had proved we're actually doing what we're saying we're doing, and we're going to keep moving forward.
We didn't, but that's why it matters, because we were able to fill in the gaps in our brains. We were able to allow our imagination to take us places, and that fueled our excitement. That bought our tickets to the next several films.
Fair enough. All right. What you got next?
I go again, don't I?
You go again.
Okay. I feel like I shouldn't go Marvel back to back since I've been giving you crap about that.
You do whatever you want. Be who you want to be.
Okay. I am going to go with... Yeah. I'm going to go to a film and a style of post-credit scene that I think is a little underrated. I'm going to go with A Bug's Life. And I'm going to talk about their introduction of the idea of animated bloopers.
Yep.
And that's a mid-credits, and it carries through the credits. But this, like, Pixar had done a few other films, right? Or was this the second? I'm trying to remember now.
The second.
This is the so Pixar had done one other film. In the second film, we were all super pumped. We came out to see A Bug's Life after Toy Story, and we get an added treat that we didn't have from Toy Story, which was a blooper reel in the credits, but a blooper reel based on animated characters. It was so perfect. Pixar continues this trend for a while afterwards. They could, Toy Story 2 and several others do this, and it was the funniest thing in the world. Monsters Inc. Other films do this. I think that this was so creative and inventive, and it was the perfect way to end a film. And in some ways, it was everybody's favorite part. Like, that's when you walked away from A Bug's Life, and what everyone was really talking about was, dude, those bloopers were hilarious, weren't they?
Yeah.
So I think, this is a good spot in number 5.
Yeah, I agree. I have to be honest. I didn't think of that, and I'm definitely bummed. I think you're absolutely right. Even as a child, I loved those. I thought they were so funny. I'm having a hard time remembering the Bug's Life scenes specifically, but I remember Toy Story. Probably the second Toy Story. Yeah. Probably the second Toy Story. With the boom, Mike hanging too low or knocking people, and having to do
so by the time we got to
takes.
Toy Story 2 and Monsters Inc., we were like expecting it, and we were ready to go, and we wanted it, but it happened first in Bug's Life.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, even though most of my options are Marvel, I'm feeling all this crap from you, so I'm going to throw in one of my very few non-Marvel post-credit scenes. Yeah. This is one that I really love, and that's going to be the post-credit scene for Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Yeah.
The Pirates franchise has a few different post-credit scenes, most of them just, little shots of the animal of the movie, But this one really works for me, and what this post-credit scene is, we talked about Pirates last week, how it ends with Elizabeth not being able to see Will for 10 years, right? She has to come back, and they have to hope that they're both still there. This post-credit scene is the 10 years later, and it's her walking down to the edge of the cliff, looking at the coast, her son, Will's son, walking up with him, singing Pirate's Life for Me, and then the flash of the green sky as in Will has returned to the land of the living. I think it's all just really beautiful. And it really just ends the movie, again, in a way where they shouldn't have kept going past that point. But I really love this post-credit scene, and I think it perfectly ends the movie.
It's kind of the best part of the film.
Yeah.
I actually thought you were maybe going to go a different direction, and you didn't.
But a different direction altogether, or a different direction with pirates, or what do you mean?
Maybe the second. I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to give too much insight into my list here, but either way, like I said, this is the best part of the film. So, if you're gonna have an end credit scene that overshadows the whole movie, it probably should be on our list.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's gonna be, what is that? My 6?
That's number 6. You get 6 and 7.
Okay, so I get one more then. This is tough. We're getting down to it a little bit here because you've already taken a few of my options. Okay, I know. In 7, I'm going to be taking one of the many mid-credit scenes from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I'm going to be taking one specifically because I think that's what I have to do. And I'm going to be taking the scene where Stan Lee is speaking to the Watchers, and he says something along the lines of, and that time I was a FedEx man or whatever, calling back a cameo he had in a previous and recent Marvel movie. And it's just this really great nod to a theory that had been going on for a long time, that Stan Lee was a Watcher. And that's why he was showing up in all these different movies. He was keeping an eye on everybody.
Yeah.
And so I really loved that James Gunn heard the fans. He was like, hey, I like that idea. Let's do that. Maybe we can't call him a Watcher, but he's definitely working with the Watchers. I think it's a really beautiful way to honor Stan Lee, and kind of a fun way to have a little bit of fun with his cameos, make them even more special in a way. So I really, really, really love that post-credit scene.
I think it's a good choice. Yeah, I mean, we all loved the Stan Lee cameos, and when we got to that film and there hadn't been one, or I don't think there had been, right? And then we got that at the end. That was the cameo, right? Am I remembering that right?
I think we see him. Now I'm having a hard time remembering. I think he's in it earlier, and that's like an extended. Like that's when we see him with the Watchers. Cameo. But
yeah, I think that was fun, and it kind of, again, like you said, it played into the fan service. Obviously, I don't think they ever meant that to be the reason, right? But we all want to. No. It was definitely make more of it than it should be, right?
Right. The fans definitely had their fun with this theory. Nobody took it seriously, but it was just a fun theory to throw out there. And Marvel agreed. They said, hey, this is fun. Let's go that route. So for that, I appreciate it. An example of the studio or a director hearing the fan base and going along with it, I think is pretty special.
I agree. Okay, good choice. So that was your second in a row, right? So it's my turn now?
Yep, you have 8 and 9.
Okay, I can't believe you gave me this one. So I'm going to stick with Marvel, but I'm going to go with the Avengers and the shawarma scene. I think, this is a really good one. So it's deadpan. It's the perfect combination of that sort of Iron Man-ish humor and what we were getting, what we loved from Marvel in the early days. It single-handedly created a shawarma boom across the United States. You even can go to Disneyland, California Adventure, and some park in Florida, which who knows what it's called. I don't keep track of the Florida stuff. And get shawarma. So I think it was hilarious. It was kind of just the perfect tag for what we were looking for and what we really loved from Marvel at the time.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And again, I knew this was going to be on your list. I thought I might be able to get to it before you. I was actually planning on taking that next round, so I'm a little upset here. I'm going to have to recover, but you're right. It's extremely iconic.
I know you left it open for me. That's why I had to grab it now. I knew if I didn't take it now, you'd get it next.
It's true. All right, well, there's your 8. What's your 9?
Yeah. All right, I'm going to veer away from Marvel, as I said I wanted to do. I'm going to go with Zombieland and the Bill Murray post-credit scene where he comes back and we get a cameo of him apologizing for Garfield and other things. I think it was really great.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's the perfect tone to cap off that film and the humor of it, and so I really love that. It's one of my favorites, and so I think it's right there on the list at number 9.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned beforehand that I didn't have many non-Marvel post-credit scenes, and you've taken 2 of them now, so I'm rather annoyed. A little PO'd at you.
Well, you should have taken them earlier if you believed in them. Clearly, you didn't believe in them.
Yeah, I guess not enough. I guess you're right there. But, no, you're absolutely right. That's a great scene. But I think I still have you here. I mean, you've got a little variety.
You love that movie.
Yeah, it's a very funny movie. Very fun.
Yeah. Okay, you get 2 now, 10 and 11, as we turn the corner.
Okay, I know what I'm taking for 10.
Okay.
This is another one of my favorite post-credit scenes. I bet it's on your list. From Marvel, yes. At this point, there's a solid chance the rest of mine will be Marvel. It's possible. So just
I took the only 2 non-Marvel on your list.
Just hold on to your butts. Hey, I have one on my list already. I have Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not my fault. I grew up watching Marvel, Pirates, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. I mean, you did this to me.
It's my fault.
It is your fault.
You heard it here first.
But
it's the theme of the week. I get it.
You did this.
I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to give this one to you.
What does Darth Vader say in the Obi-Wan show? I am what you made me. Dude, Come on. I am what you made me. Anyways. In 10.
I got to remember who actually said that first because it was not original line and it bothered me at the time. But I hear you.
I mean, it doesn't.
Let's not talk about Obi-Wan show. God.
Anyways. That's
a whole other issue.
In
Disaster
10,
series episode we need to put together.
For not talking about it, you sure are talking about it a lot.
I'm just saying it's a good topic we should cover at some point. Disaster series, things that should have been good and were not.
Yeah, that'll be a fun episode. I agree. We should we've got plenty more of those. Plenty of.
Hey,
them.
listen, you just heard my first round draft pick right there.
Fair enough. Anyways, as I've been trying to say for 10 minutes now, in the 10 slot, I am going to be taking the post-credit scene for Spider-Man Homecoming. Specifically the one we sat through 10 minutes of credits for, just for Captain America to walk up in a PSA-style video, turn the chair around, and say, patience. And then he goes on this whole thing about how patience is a virtue, but sometimes it can be a letdown, and sometimes you sat around waiting for something that ended up being such a disappointment. And you wonder, was it really worth it? And then it ends. And I think this is genuinely one of the funniest jokes ever. Yeah. I love the fact that we all got pranked by Marvel. A lot of people hate this post-credit scene, and I genuinely love it. It might secretly be my favorite Marvel post-credit scene, honestly.
As you're describing it, I think it might be mine too.
It's so funny. This is at the height of Marvel. This is mid-phase 3, our first Spider-Man movie. This is when they're dropping some crazy post-credit scenes. Everything's building up to Avengers.
This is when they're printing money. They're just printing money.
This is in their hottest streak, and we're all just sitting there waiting for any scrap they'll give us. We're just sitting there waiting. Just, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? And then it's patience. Prepare to be disappointed. It's so good.
I remember sitting in the theater in Santa Barbara with you and your buddy, and we watched that film, and we just sat there, and we had to see the post credit scene.
Of course,
we were just shaking for it, and then there was that, and by the way, the film had been so good, it like exceeded everyone's expectations.
Yes.
It was so good. It was a classic. Again, giving the auteur the keys and letting them drive. And then that post-credit scene was just like such a kick in the balls, but in the perfect way. It was so good.
In a way that had us laughing out loud. Yeah. We were so happy with that post-credit scene.
At our own stupidity.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so that's a good call. That's a really good pick.
I'm very happy I was able to get it. Surprised that I was able to get it in 10. So yeah, I think you fumbled.
Yeah, you know what? I had it 2 up. Higher on my list. I jumped it twice because I thought I could squeeze it in. I don't know why. It was really stupid of me. It was 3rd on my list originally.
Oh, yeah, you fumbled big time.
I did.
Well, while I'm at it,
jump it 3 times? Oh, jeez.
Dude, you messed up.
Yeah. All right, you get number 11 as well.
While I'm at it, I'm going to take another Spider-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take Spider-Man Far From Home. The post-credit scene specifically that picks up right where the movie ended, and Mysterio reveals to the world that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. And the shock value of this was huge. I actually really remember thinking at the time that this was probably the most important Marvel post-credit scene that had happened yet in terms of what was going to happen moving forward. This is a huge thing. Spider-Man's secret identity is one of the biggest parts of his character. So that reveal was crazy. And what you also have to understand, and I'll be very quick here, is the context around when this happened. This happened right after Endgame, first of all. So we're hungry. But then very quickly after this, it turns out Sony and Marvel aren't getting along anymore, and Tom Holland is not going to be part of the MCU moving forward. We had this huge cliffhanger, and now Spider-Man is not a part of Marvel anymore. And it was just this kind of heartbreak, and everybody was holding out hope. Everybody was assembling together to make sure that this didn't happen. But there was there were several months where we lost. Like, Spider-Man was gone from the MCU. And so I think that kind of even elevates this post-credit scene, like how much you were thinking about, we need to know where they're taking this. And obviously, ultimately, there's a happy ending to this story. We got him back. But I think that context is important to why this post-credit scene is really important.
Yeah, Tommy, we love you. Okay, yeah, no, I think you fumbled here. I got to say, I think you fumbled here.
Absolutely not, dude.
When this post-credit scene rolled, I was intrigued, but I think you can kind of trace like a lot of the problems with the MCU back to this post-credit scene. Now they have to start effing with the multiverse to fix things, and it's just this weird,
this had nothing to do with the multiverse.
We can do whatever we want. No, he's exposed. So he has to go to Doctor Strange and have it fixed.
Well, that's where they decided to take it, but that's not necessarily.
It's the catalyst. It's the catalyst for many it's the catalyst for many bad choices that they made after this that made the whole universe a tangled mess. And I don't know. I that's my opinion on this particular post-credit scene.
Yeah, I mean, you're wrong. I know that our fans will rally behind me on this one.
Because they all loved what happened after this.
All right, let's pick up the pace a little bit here. Moving forward.
Fast. Okay, so
I've been flying.
12. I'm going to go with another... I'm just going to go with my heart here because I know you're not going to take this. You may have not even ever seen this, but I'm going to go with Airplane, 1980.
Haven't seen it yet. I need to.
Okay, so you got to watch this, but one of the earliest post-credit scenes ever, and really all it is it's the continuation of a gag. This film introduces in like one of the first scenes of the whole film a gag where somebody is waiting to get into attack or gets into a taxi and is waiting. Somebody else pops out and says, hold this car for me. I'll be right back. And nothing, the whole movie goes on. And then after the credits, they cut back and the guy's still sitting in the cab waiting. And it's like, and it's just like, it's perfect. It ties the first scene back. And this is a movie that's just loaded with gag after gag after gag. That's the whole point of the film. But it's just a beautiful thing that they did, that they went ahead and tied that bow for us and gave us that last scene. So
fair enough.
The guy waiting the guy waiting for the taxi in Airplane is my fave there. So I'm going to go with that.
Okay. What do you take next?
That's a good question. Now it gets a little bit harder. I think that I'm going to take Deadpool 2.
Damn it. I'm so pissed.
I'm so pissed.
I did not think you were going for this, and this was absolutely on my list. I needed this bad. I wanted it. You can't take all of them though, so you got to pick one.
So really what I'm taking here is the time travel cleanup that he does in whole. I think
it's like concept, 5 different scenes.
But they're not different scenes. It's a continuation of a single theme.
Okay.
So I'm taking the whole thing. Suck it up, dude. I'm taking the whole thing.
You're a
all
cheater.
of it together. They clean up everything, edits the X-Men timeline and the Green Lantern, like everything related.
Which
just
is hilarious.
All ties it together.
Shooting
it's
Ryan
perfect.
Reynolds in the head
it's perfect
before he could ever make Green Lantern is so good.
I think it's wonderful. So the whole just like middle finger to the multiverse and everything about it, and the X-Men timeline and the failed other DC movies. It's just wonderful. So yeah, Deadpool 2. What I'm referring to as a time travel cleanup.
I'm annoyed.
That's my number 13.
I'm actually pissed. Dang it, dude. Okay, well,
and I apologize for those of you watching. I'm having to reach out really far to my keyboard here to put this in. Serious first world problems
just say
here.
It. Okay, well, all right. I am. What number am I right now?
You're 14.
14 and 15. I'm going to take something a little newer. I say newer. It's still several years old, but newer Marvel. And I'm going to take the post-credit scene for Black Widow. And that's specifically where we jump forward post, spoiler alert, Black Widow's death. Yelena's standing at her grave and is basically given a contract to kill the man responsible for her sister's death. And it's revealed that contract is for Clint Barton Hawkeye. And I think it's a really fun setup. Like, okay, she now believes he's responsible for her sister's death. She's going to go after him. I also think you can really have fun with when you show somebody this movie now for the first time on their MCU watch. I think you could throw it early and kind of do like a fun little tease of like, what the heck is going on here? How is Black Widow's going to die and it's going to be Hawkeye's fault? Like, I think there's some fun stuff with this, and I think for that reason it's very intriguing. So I'm going to take that in my 14.
Yeah, I mean, we all love Yelena.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she is the bright spot post Infinity War, post Endgame. I think she's not even just a bright spot. That underplays, I think, what she brings to everything. And so, yeah, that's good. And it plays right into my second favorite of the Marvel TV shows, Hawkeye, which I know is a hot take. I don't think a lot of people share my opinion about that, but that's my second favorite behind
WandaVision. Yeah.
And so it ties in really great, and then we get the actual payoff. That's what's great too. Marvel has a lot of post-credit scenes with zero payoff. This is one where we get half the season of Yelena, or almost in Hawkeye, and it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
So good choice.
So now
I didn't have it on my list though. I forgot about that, and it's tie-in. So you that's the second time that you snuck one in that I had not thought about.
Yeah, it's a good one. So now I got to think, because I got to try to steal the ones that are on your list so I can keep my other ones for later. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. How many more do I have total? So 14, 15. You take 16, 17, and I'll have two more.
So you have three. You have three in total left.
3 in total. Okay. I am going to, we've kind of been a little fast and loose with what exactly is a post-credit scene. So
you're gonna bend reality here, are you?
I'm gonna bend it a little bit, and I'm gonna take the mid-credit scene for Deadpool and Wolverine, which is a montage of the whole Fox X-Men universe, with behind-the-scenes footage and actual scenes from the movies, set to "Time of Your Life" or "Good Riddance" by Green Day. I think it's rather emotional. It kind of hit me right in the childhood as I was watching it. Like, I quite literally grew up with these. The first one came out the year I was born.
Right in the childhood.
Right in the childhood. Like, it absolutely did. So it's a very fun, 2-minute montage that just, makes me tear up, makes me happy for what I got to grow up with.
Good.
Lets me kind of say goodbye to that universe, even though they're coming back in Doomsday. But I think it's a really, really good way to end that Fox universe.
That's pretty good. That's a good choice. I don't think it bends too much. I think you're okay with that.
Okay, good.
Okay. So I am 16 and 17, and then I get one more at the end. My list is getting a little tight, I have to say.
Mine too. I'm down to just a few.
Okay, so I'm gonna take one now that I think you might have on your list, because I'm trying to make your list even worse than it already is. Okay, I'm going with the end credit scene to Dead Man's Chest. Barbossa returns, this sets up what should be some really important stuff. Unfortunately, the product wasn't what we wanted, but we all loved seeing Barbossa come back in that moment. And I think that's where I'm at. What do you think?
Well, I think that you're not going to get that because that's not a post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene. That happens just at the end of the movie.
It's a post-credit scene, isn't it?
It is not.
What?
It's the cliffhanger of the movie.
You're calling foul?
I'm calling foul.
Dang it!
And here's the thing.
I thought that was a post-credit scene.
I don't even think you get an alternate.
What do you mean? I just lose a pick?
I think you just might. I mean, you didn't even do any research, bro.
I did. I thought I did.
You just watched these movies, too. That's what's hilarious. No, dude. That is not a mid-credit scene or a post-credit scene. That is just the end of the movie. Okay, if we were doing best endings to movies, there's plenty of those that should be on this list.
You're saying it's not... I'm wrong. I'm remembering it wrong. I'm going to take your word for it. I have old man brain. I get it. But you're also going to force me to forfeit a pick altogether?
I think you can take a pick, but I get a veto.
You get to veto my pick? You
yeah,
don't like
dude.
It?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really annoyed that I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, dude, you're so wrong about that.
I really felt good about that pick.
And it would be an amazing pick if it was a mid or post-credit scene. I would have had it by now 100%.
That when I said earlier that I thought you were going a different direction, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought you were going with the actual Dead Man's Chest Barbossa.
The actual post-credit scene for that movie is just the dog sitting on the throne of the Cannibal Island.
Yeah. I do remember that too. I thought one was mid and one was post. I was thinking the Barbossa scene was a mid-credit scene. All right, people, fans of the pod, I apologize. I'm apologizing a lot, and I feel okay. So you're going to give me a chance to replace.
With one veto, yes.
Meaning because you just don't like it? Or because it's too good?
Because I might want it.
Okay, I'm going to go with Into the Spider-Verse, the meme scene, post-credit scene. Yeah.
That's a good pick.
That's what I'm taking.
That's a good pick. You know,
so not vetoing.
I want to veto it because it's a good pick. I'm vetoing it.
What?
I'm vetoing it. I'm sorry.
I already typed it. I think
my delete button you have a delete button on your keyboard.
It's not
so go ahead and reach your arms out to that keyboard and hit backspace a few times.
It's functioning as well as.
So listen, you better come up with 2 more picks right now because this is a disaster.
Oh man, but that's a good pick.
Look, you see this? You see this?
Yeah. Thanks.
Should have stuck with the rules.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go with The Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier, the introduction of the Scarlet Witch, as I like to remember it only by. I realized that
I'm pretty sure there's somebody else in
involved.
that scene.
Yeah. So our first introduction to the Scarlet Witch, maybe my favorite MCU character ever.
She probably
is. Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And so yeah, The Winter Soldier, great film, obviously, but having the introduction to Scarlet Witch, I think, is perfect there. Right? Am I remembering that right? Or are you going to call me foul on that one too?
No, you are correct. So that's a good pick. I'm glad I vetoed the other one, but that is a good pick. So now go ahead and hit us real quick with your 17.
All right. I'm going to take Chamber of Secrets and Gilderoy Lockhart returning for a book signing. And that's my next one.
It's a good pick. I didn't think you'd go there.
Well, it's a little whimsical and I have deep love and also hate. I have a love-hate relationship with Branagh over the years.
Oh, of course.
But and I don't even particularly love this portrayal of the character. But it's a good post-credit scene, and I'm trying to keep things away from too much Marvel. So
yeah, well, that is not something that I am trying to do. So for my next post-credit scene, I'm going to take the post-credit scene to Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The sequel. So this is specifically the scene where it is revealed to us that T'Challa had a son, and
that's a good one.
We meet this sweet little boy who just looks almost exactly like Chadwick. It's just super emotional. It's a great send-off for the character, just knowing that like he left part of himself behind. Whether that kid's going to grow up and be the next Black Panther, who freaking knows. But I think it's just a very heartwarming scene. And the fact that his name is also T'Challa is just really great. So that scene made me cry the first time I saw it in theaters.
It's a good one. That's a good choice. Yeah, and potentially one of my favorite, probably my favorite moment of Wakanda Forever. I think, again, it's not a bad movie. I think...
It has some issues.
It has some issues, but I really love that post-credit scene. That's a good call.
Yeah, it is a good call, I have to say. And lastly, I'm going to go with I don't have too many gags on my list. I tend to like post-credit scenes that lead somewhere. But I'm going to go for one that's a little bit more of a gag, and that's going to be the Iron Man 3 post-credit scene. So all three Iron Man movies made the list, by the way. And this post-credit scene is, for context, the whole movie Tony's narrating. The whole movie. He's narrating throughout. And the post-credit scene reveals that his narration was actually his therapy session with Bruce Banner, who is not the right kind of doctor for that. And he has fallen asleep and ignored the entire story. I think their chemistry together is really great. It's rather funny, and it kind of puts a little bit of a spin on their narration of the movie. So I appreciate that, and I'm going to take that for, I guess, which is my last pick.
19, that's your last pick.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I can't believe I've actually... So this will be my last pick at number 20, and I will have actually chosen 2 others that I don't get to keep. So I can't go back to Into the Spider-Verse, right?
No. Of course not. What would be the point of a veto then?
You vetoed it and then didn't take it. I guess.
No, I mean, I can't
the fans are getting a bonus.
Yeah. I was just wiping it off the board is what I was doing.
Okay. All right.
Wrap it up.
I'm going to go with John Wick Chapter 4 and the Akira's pursuit of his daughter and everything. Like, right? I mean, I think sets up what could be a really cool extended universe. We already have a little bit of that with Ballerina, but we have heard rumors of a Donnie Wu spinoff. So I think this is really perfect.
Yeah, I can't even picture this scene at all.
You don't remember it?
No, I can't picture it. I might not have seen it, honestly. I didn't know John Wick movies did post-credit scenes, so I might have left.
Yeah, so remember he talks the whole time about, or there's threats that his daughter will die, right? I completely
understand what you're saying. I didn't even know this was a thing, so that's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would check it out. There's now I don't even want to spoil it. There's a little bit of a twist in there in terms of, so I'm going to let it go and I'm going to let you check that scene out.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm going to do that. Real quick, I want to touch on very quickly just a few honorable mentions. I'll run through mine very quick. I have the Eternals post-credit scene that teases both Kit Harington as Black Knight and Blade off screen. The reason it didn't make my list is it still has not gone anywhere. You're going to see this theme here.
It's on the list of orphaned post-credit scenes.
Exactly. And most of these are going to be, by the way. Then I have the Marvels, where Monica Rambeau wakes up in what might be the Fox universe. We see Kelsey Grammer's Beast CGI version. I think it's rather fun, but again, we haven't gotten payoff for it yet. No. Then Thunderbolts. This was the post-credit scene I was talking about earlier, comparing to the Iron Man 2 post-credit scene with Thor's hammer. The Thunderbolts post-credit scene reveals the Fantastic Four ship heading towards Earth, and I think this would have been just incredible had we had no idea that Marvel was working on a Fantastic Four movie, let alone it was coming out in like 3 months. So they basically just said, hey, our post-credit scene is teasing a movie that we already have 2 trailers out for. So again,
it was totally anticlimactic in the moment, but you're right. It could have been really great.
It could have been great in a different time or a different context. My last 2 very quickly. The Black Adam post-credit scene where Henry Cavill returns as Superman is really fun and really tragic because like 3 days later, he was no longer Superman. So that one particularly stings, especially for him, I imagine. And lastly, I'm going to take the Justice League post-credit scene where we see Deathstroke in all of his freaking glory. Beautiful suit.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
And he speaks to Lex, and Lex says something along the lines of, don't you think we need a league of our own? Really fun. I actually really like the scene, but it didn't go anywhere, and that's what's tough.
Would we consider the scene at the end of the Snyderverse cut a post-credit scene also?
The one in the future?
With the Joker and everything?
That's because
pre-credits?
It's pre-credits, yeah.
Okay, I was trying to remember.
That could have been up there too.
Yeah, as soon as you said Justice League, I was like, oh, yeah, that was so good. But no, it's pre-credits. Okay. All right, cool. I got a couple that I can throw out as honorable mentions. X-Men Last Stand.
Yeah.
Xavier is alive, and that was pretty cool. We didn't have extended universes and all that yet, so I'm going to go way old school here. The earliest one that I could think of was 1979's The Muppet Movie. Has a post-credit scene where Statler and Waldorf, the 2 old guys, are in the balcony and heckling the audience for still being in the theater, which is cool. Dancing Baby Groot.
Good one.
At the end of Guardians.
Super vibey.
Yeah. I already said the meme. Oh, The Matrix Reloaded, the second Matrix film. Post-credit scene, you have something super unique. You have a trailer for Revolutions.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of trailers as post-credit scenes.
But this was unique. It hadn't happened before. So it was really cool in the moment, I feel like. So that was on my list. So
fair enough. I'll run through a quick recap for everybody.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it quick because my laptop's pretty close to dying. And so
charger, my friend. You need a charger.
I know. for our post-credit draft, you started off with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I went ahead and took Iron Man 2, the reveal of Thor coming soon. Then I went ahead and took Thor: The Dark World, the reveal that we were moving forward with Infinity Stones. It gave us the Infinity Saga. You then took the OG Iron Man, Nick Fury showing up, presenting the idea of the Avengers Initiative. Super classic. Yeah. Then you took A Bug's Life, the animated bloopers. Incredible. Great pick. I took At World's End. 10 years later, Elizabeth and her son, Will's son, are standing there waiting for him, and Will returns. Really great scene. I then took Guardians 2. The little nod to Stan Lee working with the Watchers. Really fun in-universe joke and kind of just fun little theory for the fans to toy around with. You took Avengers, the shawarma scene, obviously very iconic. Then you took Zombieland, Bill Murray showing back up and apologizing for Garfield, among other things. Very funny. Have to give it to you. In 10, I took Spider-Man Homecoming. We all got pranked by Captain America. I love it. You might hate it, but I love it. Then I took Spider-Man Far From Home. Oh, I know. Then I took Spider-Man Far From Home, where Spider-Man's identity is revealed. Very good cliffhanger for that movie. Then you took Airplane, the joke that they set up at the beginning of the movie, still paying off in the post-credits, which is obviously pretty iconic. Then you took Deadpool 2. I was very pissed about that because I wanted it. Specifically him killing the other version of Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds before he could make Green Lantern. That is so funny. Very, very good. I took Black Widow, where Yelena discovers that Hawkeye is responsible for her sister's death. That's a very good one. Then I took Deadpool and Wolverine, the montage of the entire Fox X-Men universe played to good riddance. Very good. You took Winter Soldier, the introduction of Scarlet Witch and Pietro, by the way. Then you took Chamber of Secrets, Lockhart's little return and a nod to, his looniness. I took Wakanda Forever, the introduction of T'Challa's son. Then I took Iron Man 3, the reveal that Iron Man was in a therapy session the whole time with Bruce Banner, just played for jokes. And then you took the post-credit scene to John Wick Chapter 4 with Akira's Pursuit. So, pretty good list overall. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I think we did good, and we managed to get through in. Yeah, we're only pushing an hour and a half. These episodes are tiny, so snackable.
Oh yeah, we're good. Yeah. We're good. Good list. I have to be honest. You have a good list.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So do you. I think in general this is solid, and I'm so glad we went to 20 because 10 would have been too few.
It would have been really fast, honestly.
Should we talk about homework?
We should talk about homework, and I'm pretty much going to be doing it blind, but we're just having a conversation. So
we're blind. What do you mean?
Well, because my laptop's dead.
Oh, okay. You've lost your notes. Okay.
Yeah, I was at 100% when I started. I don't know what's going on. Something must be running in the background that I'm not aware of.
You're streaming What We Do in the Shadows, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that was my homework.
Yeah.
I liked it. I said in my Letterboxd review that you are either vibing with Taika or you're not, and I do.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It didn't blow me away. I don't think it's his best movie by any shot, but it was fun, and it's definitely a movie that I look forward to revisiting.
Yeah.
So I think I can appreciate more with each rewatch, as I find the case with a lot of his movies, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. So much is on the delivery and the writing, and 100%. Some of the jokes hit 100%. So much better the second, third, and fourth time. You feel like you're in on the joke, and that's, I think, the sign of a great comedy is that the fact that it's still funny when you're hearing the joke again. There's so many jokes that are only funny the first time.
No, absolutely.
This one isn't going to do that for you. It's going to get even better with time. So I'm glad you liked it. And again, like we said before, good palate cleanser, right?
Definitely.
I gave you kind of a heavy movie last time.
Yes, and I gave you a ridiculous and rather depressing by the end of it movie. What'd you think? The Mist?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I hated this movie so much. I have to say,
let's go.
Like, there was so much that I really didn't like about this movie. It's loaded with a really great cast that just fails to deliver on a somewhat what I consider to be a somewhat humdrum Frank Darabont adaptation. And like a lot of Stephen King, usually this isn't the case with his short stories or novellas, but this was a novella from what I understood. Like a lot of Stephen King adaptations, he's just throwing everything in the kitchen sink at you, and I didn't get it. It just didn't work for me. And then from a filmmaking perspective, it felt like somewhat bad effects. What am I fighting? A giant octopus, bugs. I don't know. It didn't work for me. And I thought for the most part the acting was pretty bad. This was not my favorite choice. It might have actually been my least favorite choice you've ever given me.
I mean, I kind of feel like that should be celebrated. One day I'm going to give you homework that I know for a fact you're going to hate just to do it. So I'm going to give you something definitely much better this week. I think you're really going to like this movie. I'm surprised you hadn't seen it. I'm going to give you The Last Duel from Ridley Scott, starring Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, who else?
Adam Driver.
Jodie Comer, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie. We watched a movie this week that told the same story from several different perspectives. Mm-hmm. That's how this movie's formatted. So
yeah, did you hear me reference Rashomon when we were talking before? I think my understanding is that this is a play on Rashomon and on the structure. Yeah.
I think you're going to like it a lot. I'm excited to see what you have to think.
Okay, perfect. I can't wait to see it. I have been putting it off for whatever reason. I'm not sure exactly what was turning me off about it.
When it first came out, it wasn't getting the best reviews. But then, like, once that initial release, kind of chilled out and people actually went to go see the movie rather than just the critics, it started to elevate quite a bit. A lot of people really appreciate it, and I really like it. I think it's very good.
Good. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to checking it out, and I will do so soon. I'm giving you Steve Jobs, written by Sorkin.
Michael
We were talking
Fassbender?
About her. Yes, the Michael Fassbender film, written by Aaron Sorkin, who we were talking about earlier, directed by Danny Boyle, who I know you like a lot. I know you're also a fan of this type of structure where everything is sort of encompassed in a single setting. This is kind of like that.
I didn't know that.
Feels like it could be a play. Super interesting. I think it also plays off a little bit about where Sorkin's interests are right now in terms of Silicon Valley and how it's impacted our world and society. So I think it's a brilliant film. I love it. I think it's super underrated, and I hope you love it too.
I'd be very surprised if we don't come back with 2 good scores next week. Okay.
Well, that's good to know, right? I mean, Scott and Boyle. I mean,
those are some good directors.
That's a good pedigree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've ranked, we've debated, we disagreed, though not about who shot first. It's all just another day in the galaxy.
So whether you're Gen X, Gen Z, or somewhere lost in the timeline, please continue to listen, like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe, please, to I Am Your Father.
Until the next episode, remember that with great power comes a great second breakfast. But winter is also coming, so may the Force live long and prosper with you.
Shawarma?